Johnson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Now let's go. Blue, land it.
Looking to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here's James. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. I think defensively you're okay with that. And you're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, it's Keller. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that.
Kelly stripped. The ball is free, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. 3
yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go.
Back to throw here. This will be caught just inside the 10. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
On now the Miami field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They run it with James. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, it's James. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
No. Check. Patriot.
James. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
And this is a spot where you have your offense stay out there to get those few inches. It's too long for a field goal. It's not worth punting. So this is the right decision as far as I'm concerned, and they wind up picking up the first down.
On the ground, it's James. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Looking to throw on second. Here's Kelly. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it, we can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
He's going to get it running right. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are in for 6. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point safely through, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That escapes the sack. Pass incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he's able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
319. 319.
He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the second time. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that his defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Looking deep. The got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. Mixon with a first down carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Kelly throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Out of the gun, it's Kelly. And Ingram holds it in. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Oh, that is a complete shank. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green 39.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
No, check. Patriot.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now a first down throw. Kelly. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll look to throw here. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
But it's not been the best game for him. But he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
They'll set up to throw, and that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Kelly. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Nifty move. And now running right through it. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Dolphin football. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 9.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Luke Kuechly. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Chandler. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Chandler. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense Find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action here on first down. That's complete to Darboh. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage. Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he's hauled away down to the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Back to throw again. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that was point-counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the fourth. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Green 39! Green 39!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher.
Now the ball comes loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A good pickup there at 22. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?"
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now back to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. New York set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Detroit!
To throw, Kelly. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down. 47 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. In for the score. And the Giants add on to their lead.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point up and through, and that will bump the lead up to 26. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and
go.
maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go now. 3.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Washington Redskins come to town. Meanwhile, for Miami, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.